What's going on, YouTube? What's going on, Instagram? It's your boy Raise Hell Zell back again with another video. And in this video, we're gonna be going over the first preseason game of the 2025 season. Talk about some players that look good, talk about some players that didn't look so good, and also go over today's training camp. I know we worked out a few players today, so I want to go over everything. So without further ado, please click the like button. Please subscribe. Please turn on that notification bar if you are vibing with any of my videos that I'm dropping out. So let's get straight into it, man. So first preseason game of the season. All right. Not what I expected. Didn't look too good. Not as promising as we would have liked, right? So the biggest thing that stood out to me, and we can get into the players that did bad, but the biggest thing that stood out to me that has an effect on how the season is going to go is what our special teams look like. It just opening kickoff, they take it back. Now we know the talent that Travion Henderson is. We know how good he is. We know that's why a lot of us wanted him in the draft. He's a really good player. He's dynamic. He does everything right. He does everything. He's fast. He's a good running back. He can pass block, all that. So I'm not, but like opening kickoff though, and it wasn't even close. He wasn't even touched. Like that's one thing that's not bad, because that's for the majority of it. The people that was out there for the special team, those are going to be mostly the guys, barring a few other people like Jordan McGee and a couple other players. But most of them players are going to be playing for our special team during the regular season. So that's kind of scary. I'm not gonna lie. That's kind of concerning. And Dan Quinn talked about that at the press conference. He said things. I forgot what the exact quote was, but to paraphrase, he pretty much said, we can control, how we play, and going forward, it's going to look a lot better. So that tells me he got into their ass. He got into him. He told her what was going on, and he ain't standing for it going forward. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, man, special teams did not look good. Our backups didn't look good, man. I know we didn't have no starters out there for real. Trey Amos probably going to be starting. He looked solid when he was out there. Outside of Trey Amos, Josh Conley Jr. looked solid as well. Not too sure if he's going to start day one or week one. But man, that was concerning, bro, because if anybody goes down, these are some of the players that is going to be coming into the game, right? Some of the players that didn't look good off the top of my head, Chris Moore. Chris Moore, he's not making the team, man. Like he's just a camp body, because there's no reason you dropping 2 passes. And I know Sam Hartman didn't have the best day, but it would have looked a lot different if Chris Moore, brought in those 2 easy passes that he dropped. He just point blank dropped them. So Chris Moore didn't look good. Matt Gay missed a 49-yard field goal. We want to see him make those. We need to see him make those. We're paying him $4 million guaranteed for this year. We want to see him make those. And today during practice, I think he went 4 for 5. The only one that he missed was a 30-yarder. But he did make a 50+ yarder. I'm kind of concerned now. Like, through our training camp, we didn't hear much from Matt Gay, but when we did hear things, it sounded like he was doing well. If he's not consistent, I'm worried, man. Like, I don't want to go through another year where we went with last year. We were bringing in all these different kickers. They seem to go all in on him, giving him $4 million guaranteed. So, I mean, like, that's the most a kicker has been guaranteed per year ever. So you kind of got to produce, bro. Like, I don't know. I want to see better from Matt Gay. It didn't really look good. So who else didn't look too good out there? Carlin Vigors. I know he's an undrafted free agent and he's most likely going to make the team, but I was kind of rooting for him, because we heard he was up and we heard that he was doing pretty well in training camp. He's making plays here and there, but he looked like he didn't want to tackle. He looked like he didn't want to tackle Friday. So that's not really too good. But as a whole, we just didn't really look good. There were some bright spots though that I want to talk about. Noah I was out there. He had a really good amount of plays and amount of minutes. He looked pretty solid. He did give up that 1 touchdown, but he did look solid. as our fifth rotational cornerback. You kind of want to see him look good. So he looked good. Trey Amos was out there limited, but he did look good. He had one. He was targeted one time. The ball sailed out of bounds. But watching him, run with the wide receiver right there on his hip, right there on his shoulder, got his head around. Quarterback didn't have any room to squeeze the ball in. So you want to see that. He also got a tackle that on a play that looked like it could have, been a longer distance run. But he kind of got in there, tripped him up, got the tackle. So shout out to Trey Amos. Jarzon Newton looked really good out there. He flashed, and he played limited minutes. I think he only played like one or two drives. He got a sack and a forced fumble on Drake May, and they played their starter, so he looked good. It was on a stunt. He came around the other end, got right to Drake May. Drake May tried to pass it, slipped out of his hands, and he fumbled it. He also got in there for a run stop. He also just was plugging the hole, man. I wanted to see him look good, and he did what he needed to do. So I'm excited about Jarzon Newton. So there was players that were looking really good compared to like a team as cohesive, like a cohesive team. We didn't look good. To go back to the special teams though, outside of the opening kickoff, we also gave out two other kickoffs that went for long distances as well. So this is something in this game that just like we needed to. I don't know what we need to do, but we need to fix this because going into the Cincinnati Bengals, they're going to play their starters early too. But I don't want this to be a problem. Like we got to get this down pat. And I know we can because we got the right coaches in there that can really get this done. But it just doesn't look good, especially the way we ended last season getting blown out. I know it's preseason, but it's just the optics. It's the way it looks. It just doesn't look good to a fan. Damn, we ended the season on a blowout. We starting the season on a blowout. Just don't look too good. Who else looked really good? Ja'Cory Brooks looked pretty good out there. He had a good amount of catches. Can't really see his don't have his stats pulled up right now, but I think he did have a touchdown. He had a few catches. He was getting open. Not the fastest guy, but he was getting open. So that's something that you really look good to see. And Bill, Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, obviously he didn't have that many yards, but when he got the ball, he looked good. He looked like the running back that we were missing. His jump cuts, his change of direction, his vision is very underrated. And our line wasn't really blocking like they should have. Or like, we want them to, but Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt did look really good. He looked really good, really solid out there. But yeah, man, it wasn't too many players. Those are the only players that I saw that really flashed or that really looked solid. And then the rest kind of were just mediocre or didn't really play the part. But first preseason game, we didn't really play any starters. This is what you kind of gonna get. A lot of these players, they're trying to make the team, so they want to give them the opportunity. But that's that. To get into today's practice though, and we did work out a few players today. Pull up the list of the players that we did work out. So we worked out 14 players total. It looks like it was about a whole rack of linebackers, like 7 linebackers. So that's like we're working out 7 linebackers. That is concerning, man. Jordan McGee is injured. He wasn't at practice today. That's kind of concerning. I don't know about y'all, but that's kind of concerning, man, to see that we're looking at linebackers like this. That tells me that people behind Jordan McGee, Kane Majano, and other players might not be doing enough. If we're looking at linebackers like this, and we ended up signing a line. We ended up signing Duke Riley, who's been all around this league on multiple different teams. That's kind of, I ain't gonna lie, man, that's kind of concerning. Jordan McGee missed a lot of his last season with the injury. He's injured again preseason. And we're looking to sign more linebackers, and we did sign one. So 7 linebackers on here. We got a DB that we worked out from Western Michigan, Kenny H. Lovely, it looked like. We worked out a tackle out of Tulane, John Leglue. Yeah, so there was three DBs in total that we worked out. And it looks like 7 linebackers in total that we worked out, 2 guards and 1 tackle. And a defensive end. So some of these are the thing that stands out to me is the linebacker because it's 7 linebackers that we worked out. That's a little bit concerning in my eyes. That's a little bit concerning, but also other news, Lucas Niang, we just signed him I think a week ago. He tore his ACL, backup tackle. He probably wouldn't have seen the field often this season, but you kind of feel for guys who trying to make a roster spot and they end up tearing their ACL. But speedy recovery for Lucas. Speedy recovery. What's going on today? Debo supposedly was making a lot of plays today. JD5 and Debo connected on a 30 or 40-yard post route touchdown bomb that Jaden Daniels, laid right into the basket. And that's good. That's good to hear. That's good to hear going into the season. But man, we got to sign Terry. None of these outside of Debo, no other wide receiver is you can really rely on. I mean, you can say Noah Brown, but is he going to really stay healthy throughout the whole season? And Noah Brown is supposed to be a third string. He's supposed to be the third option on a wide receiver, third or fourth. You don't really want him to be the second option. This is what we had with him last season. So we need Terry. We need Terry. But it is good to know that JD5 and Debo are continuously building their connection. Going into the season, we already know their connection with him and Terry, so that's not really necessarily needed at this moment. That's the only bright spot that he has the time to now to build connections with other wide receivers. But you wanna get Terry out there so he can get into his groove and his modem, so he's not, when he does get out there, he's not thrusted into the just straight into the season with like, and you don't want to be rusty. You don't want to be rusty out there and getting injured. So we definitely need him back. There was also another jet sweep. There was a jet sweep today that they said on X. It would have went the distance if we weren't in practice with without pads and stuff. But Jay Lane blocked well on that jet sweep, and so did Austin Eckler. So that's good to hear as well. Debo had a great practice. It seems like he was the one that stood out today. So shout out to Debo. Players that weren't at practice. And again, some of these are concerning. Some of these I don't think we really need to worry about. Like Marcus Mariota, he wasn't at practice. I don't think that's something to worry about. He's not starting, but I think he'll, whenever we need him, if we do need him, he'll be ready to go. Noah Brown, I think they're just taking the precautionary things with him. They know what he brings at this moment. A lot of these practice, he doesn't really need to be out there, especially coming off that injury during mandatory mini camps. Kind of want to take it slow with him. The 2 players that stand out to me though that are concerning is Jordan McGee and Brandon Coleman. Those are very concerning to me because, like I said, we already worked out these linebackers. Jordan McGee is injured again, didn't play in the first preseason game. Joe Witt Jr. talked about how the schemes that we had for him going into last season and now going into this season, we have plays drawn up for Jordan McGee. And to see that he's not practicing, see that he's injured again is concerning to me. And looked at how our linebacker core looked in preseason, like our backups. We're going to need Jordan McGee this season, bro. We're definitely going to need him. And if he's not out there, I think we do. I think our defense as a whole does take a hit, in my opinion. Brandon Coleman missing time out, didn't practice again today. Missed the same exact time last season, didn't play in the first preseason game, so you got to feel for him. I think it is a lower extremity injury that he's nursing, but it's concerning. Like, those 2 players are concerning, but at the same time, DQ said none of these are serious injuries. They're just taking the necessary precautions to make sure they're ready to go week 1. But I want to give y'all the truth. So those 2 people, Jordan McGee, Brandon Coleman, those are the 2 concerning injuries that I'm worried about at this moment. But also, who wasn't out there? Kevin Seymour and Bobby Price. 2 people trying to make the team weren't out there, but those are backups. But yeah, man, that's all I got for you, man. So we didn't look good. We didn't look good this past week, but these are backups. We didn't have any starters out there. And they played a lot of their starters. But it is what it is, man. It really is what it is. Yeah. But yeah, man, we got the Cincinnati Bengals coming up on Monday at 8 p.m. August 18th. They're going to be playing their starters, at least the first drive. And I think we're going to play our first starters, and they're going to sit all our starters week 3. I think we're going to play our starters first drive as well, just to get them, ready for the season. So hopefully what I'm looking forward to is hopefully our special team just looks good. I just hope our special team looks good, looks the part. That's all I'm really asking for. I'm not really asking for too much other than that, but I understand we have backups out there, so I'm not too hard on that. But the special teams is the one that jumps out to me. It really does jump out to me. But yeah, man, that's all I got for y'all, man. Please like, subscribe, comment. Appreciate everyone who tuned in or who will look at this video after the live. Please like, subscribe, comment, turn on that notification bar. Let me know, man. I know we still waiting for Terry. Let me know down low if y'all are concerned. If y'all think a deal is going to get done at this point. I'm still feeling like a deal is going to get done. It just doesn't make sense for Terry to wait out. I know he's on the PUP list, so that's his reasoning for being out. But I'm still holding out faith that something will get done. I have to. It just doesn't make sense, man. We got expectations this season. So appreciate y'all, man. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all night. Man. Thank you. Peace out.